Check it. Yeah. Give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for a life. Okay, so grab your pole and hop on my pirate ship, sailing oceans of the unreasonable. Yeah, we on this tip. Some say we are born free. Are we? From the moment you're born, they got a need. Control and condition, that's the whole design. Start with a number, then they cross the line. Social security attack for your soul, then a prick of the blood to complete their control. Add you to a stranger's insecure database, trying to put a price on your time and your space. It was all a dream. Used to read Word Up magazine, now pirate chains the king. Lit out the prophecy scene. Prophecy is freedom, yeah, that's the motto. GR in the code so they can't trace me. Unreasonable man, that's the one that's making progress, adapting the world to himself, gotta clean up the mess. You might think of tech like pirate chains for evil, for nefarious acts, straight from the devil, but that can't be further from the truth. You see, you can't defend yourself from what you can't perceive. They building markets that never existed before. Look at Airbnb, trust is what they built it for. 30 years ago, a stranger in your home, nah son. Now innovative tech is showing what's been done, bringing back trust. Unlike the news you're watching, that brainwashing propaganda machine is non-stop, and pirate is a tool like a hammer or a knife, a gun to survive in this game of life. How you use the tools, that's the question you face, to build and create or to destroy the whole place. It was all a dream. Used to read Word Up magazine, now pirate chains the king. Living out the privacy scene. Privacy is freedom, yeah, that's the motto. GR in the code so they can't trace me. Unreasonable man, that's the one that's making progress, adapting the world to himself, gotta clean up the mess. You use them to spy on the ones that you love, or use them for trust like the man above. How long that relationship gonna last? Tell me that. When your partner finds out you're checking their chat, distrust will tear you apart, it's a fact. So trust must be what brings the people back. That's the new parallel economy, you see, built on tech that provides security for you and me. The unstoppable Silk Road, yeah, that's the path. Cause blockchain once open can't go back in the past, can't be put back in the box, the genie's out the bag. Every transaction you make is yours to have. Your body is all you really own in this world, true. It's been holding your soul since day one for you. So treat it good, stop sticking strange things in it, especially when they force you, man. I'm not gonna did it. I hope when that time comes you don't just comply to the greater compromise, you look them in the eye. I hope you fight while you marinate on the fire in the hell of your own doubt. Rise up even higher, a phoenix inside you, not born from the rage but from breaking out of your fear-filled cage. Once you awaken and you're reborn in the light, in the image of love, gonna win the good fight. Then take out your pirate hooks, it's time to take back our world from the evil outside. Watch the flag be unfurled that tempts you and breaks you, to secure your cooperation, to get you to join the whole damn demon nation. George Bernard Shaw said it, and I'll say it again. The reasonable man adapts to the world, my friend. The unreasonable one persists, trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore all progress depends on the man who rebels. Yeah, pirate chain. Privacy is freedom. Don't you forget it. For all the unreasonable people, unstoppable.
Hello and welcome to the Crypto Conspiracy. This is your host, Luce, coming to you live with Canada Great. And we are here today to discuss the fact that you don't own anything in your life. The fact that everything you hold is being cuckolded. You think you own what you have? You think that the gold in your safe, that cash in your wallet is yours? Think again. Every single bill in your pocket has a serial number. Every gold bar you buy from a reputable dealer, it's got a serial stamp on it. They put a collar and a leash on everything of value, and you're thanking them for it. Let's get real. Gold is a rock. It's a piece of earth. Something that existed long before any government. It's a natural force. And what do? We slap a serial number on it, like it's a product on a shelf. We're letting the bureaucrats in suits put brands on a piece of God's creation. It's an act of arrogance. It's like taking a wild lion just so you can track it for your own amusement and control. And you know what? That's really like the same damn principle as numbering people in a concentration camp. It's about taking a living, breathing, valuable thing and reducing it to a number in a ledger. It's about making it trackable, controllable, and ultimately seizable. The only difference is we're lining up and paying for the privilege. They call it security. They call it authenticity. I call it a leash. They want to know every single piece of value. Who has it? Where it's going? Why? So when they decide they want it back, they know exactly which door to kick down. This is the ultimate form of being cooked. You work your ass off to acquire something of real value, something tangible, and then you hand it over to the system to be branded, logged, and put under a microscope. You're begging to be put on a leash. You're letting a stranger put his name on your wife just so he knows where she is. It's pretty insane. Every time you accept a serialized asset, you're not just buying gold or cash, you're buying a product that comes with its own built-in informant. You're agreeing to play their game, to live in their system, where everything you own is just an entry on their spreadsheet, ready to be frozen, seized, or devalued at the flip of a switch. So wake up. The next time you buy something of value, ask yourself, who really owns it? Is it yours? Or is it the people who gave it a number and they're watching it, waiting for their chance to take it back? Stop letting them serialize your freedom. There's quite a few things that they serialize in your life that you may not know about. It all starts with the money. Banknotes. Every dollar in your pocket has a serial number. When it comes out of the ATM, they know exactly who got it. When it goes back into the bank, they know exactly who you gave it to and where it came from. Gold and silver bars. They're stamped with unique serial numbers. Stock certificates and bonds, identified by TSIP or ISIN numbers. Your vehicle's title, the title document, has a unique number linked to a VIN number. Your property deed, recorded in government's database with a unique parcel or deed number. Unfortunately, they can't give you the history of your property because that's probably the way for you to own your property and they'll never let you have that. Birth certificates, social security cards, passports, core documents that assign you a permanent trackable identity number. The vehicles and machinery that you use, motorcycles, trucks, cars, they have VIN numbers, 17-digit unique code. Boats, they have hull identification numbers. Aircrafts, assign a unique registration number by aviation authorities. You're not the boss. You don't own it, even if you could afford it. Firearms, the serial number on your frame or receiver is legally required for tracking, right? I don't know about you guys, but my grandpa didn't have guns with the serial numbers on. As a matter of fact, my family did a good job of taking them off, if they were in. Engines, many major engines, cars, boats, industrial equipment, have a separate serial number from the chassis. So the engine of your car is also tracked. Construction equipment, it's all tracked by serial numbers. Maintenance, rental purposes, whatever. Smartphones, it has an IMEI or MEID, unique number that identifies your device on a cellular network. Laptops and computers have a serial number for warranty and service, often linked to a MAC address for network identification. Guess who owns that network? It's not you, because that modem that they give you also has a MAC address on the network that they own. So they know all the traffic. They monitor everything through your DOCSIS compliant modem. Game consoles. Each console has a unique serial number. Software licenses activated with a unique product key tied to your own machine. They know who you are. Digital media, movies, music, ebooks, purchased from platforms like iTunes, Amazon, tied to your account, not a physical object. Get the old books, right? And also another problem you guys should think about with all this, online buying online books and reading them online, is that history, they don't have to burn books anymore. History can be changed with just erasing it, whatever sentence that they don't like in that book, and you'll never know it was gone because you keep referring to the same book that they're providing you. It's not your book, so get the paper copy of all your books. Because if something changes, you will never know. Right? The internet itself, I can't find old material anymore. So censorship exists. It's all over. You can see it working. Cryptocurrency. Well, cryptocurrency doesn't really have a serial number in a traditional sense, but every coin's history is traceable through its transaction IDs on a public ledger. So we saved them the trouble of having to put serial numbers on the money. See, Bitcoin is the next level of tyranny, but you're not getting it yet. I don't know how many times I gotta say it, but you're not freaking getting it yet. That's why privacy coins are the most important thing in this realm. Without them, crypto is dead. Your privacy is dead when it comes to your financials. This is the only thing that can save you, is privacy. Electronic and digital goods. Stay away from them, right? If you buy a coffee machine, make sure it's not a smart coffee machine. They don't need to know what time you make your coffee every day. Doesn't need to ping back home, including your refrigerators, your washing machines, ovens. They all got serial numbers, for warranty and repair tracking, right? Yeah, right. Power tools. Many brands also serialize and warranty, theft recovery, whatever, but they know who owns it. They know who bought it. They know where you bought it. Bicycles, the high-end ones. They also have serial numbers stamped on the frames. Luxury watches. High-value watches have unique serial numbers, often used to track authenticity and ownership. Designer handbags and jewelry. Prescription medications. Well, I'll have to agree with that one, maybe. Prescription medications is a big problem right now. It's always been a problem, actually, for decades now. People abusing it, right? But you know what? Even if you put a serial number on it, and so on and so forth, it still gets out there. So, maybe there's no point in even putting serial numbers on it. Maybe we need to blame the people making it and providing it and giving it to pharmaceutical companies or pharmacies. Right? I work in that industry. I know where the problem is. Animals, your pets, your cat, your dog, they got microchips that are implanted with the unique ID. It's linked to the owner. It's you. Livestock, your cattle, your horses, branded with tags, tattoos, or ear tags containing a unique number for the herd. They say it's to manage disease tracking, right? I don't know about that. Maybe they want to know how many they need to kill tomorrow, because they're farting too much. We don't want to kill the ozone layer with cow farts. It's the most stupid thing I've ever heard in my life.
Hey, Captain, it's like they turned everything and all of us and every aspect of our life. They look at us as merchandise, man. We're commodities.
Well, I'm trying to make you aware of the serializing of your life, right? A lot of people don't understand that everything's getting serialized. And that's the biggest problem. That's basically a cookhold. You're the guy in the chair, right? You're the guy in the chair watching somebody bang your wife. That's you when you accept the serial number on the stuff that you're supposed to own. Like if you come around and if somebody puts a serial number on your gold that was made by God, right? Nobody could own it. Nobody could own gold. Made by God. It was a man-made. So somebody's coming around and putting some numbers on your gold. Is it your gold? Whose gold is it? If somebody can do that, whose gold is it? It's not yours. You get it? That's what all metals.
Wow.
So the conspiracy this week is that your whole life is being serialized, and you need to be aware of that, right? It's beyond that, because everything's already serialized. Everything I mentioned is already done. What's coming next? They're going to use this information, and they're going to take all your power away. They're going to be able to know every single thing about you. They already do. How do you stop this? You need to be concerned about your privacy a little more, okay? If your house gets robbed, what do you do the next day? I know it's already too late. You got robbed. But what do? Most people go buy an alarm system, and then those companies make a lot of money off of you, right? That's what they do, right? Don't make it an afterthought. Don't get robbed. Be proactive in your privacy. Don't let them know nobody needs to know anything about you. There's nobody on this earth that's better than you. I was born by a vagina, and so are you. This earth that I was born on is owned by me and you. We have to share it. And there's nobody out there that can say that you don't own it. Back in the day, that would have been solved with a gun. You want to come and take it? Come and take it. I'll show you what happens if you come and take my shit, right? I'll show you what happens if you come and hurt my family in any way. And taking people's money is hurting their families because you're taking food out of their kids' mouths. So
Yes, yes, it is.
so think about that. Think about how they're hurting you. Every single dollar they take from you for whatever excuse is hurting you. Right? Oh, you spent $600. We're gonna have to tax that. Right? Oh, we're gonna have to, at the end of the year, you're gonna have to claim this money. Blah 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 blah. Who are you? Who are you to come into my life, my whole life, and start telling me you gotta take my money? And if you do take my money, where are the benefits? What am I paying for? Can you say that? No, they just take your money, right? They don't even explain why the fuck they take it. Oh, you gotta go look it up. You gotta go to your Congress and ask them. You gotta go to such and such and ask them. No, I'm not asking shit. I'm just not gonna give you anything until you come to my door and you fucking explain to me what I'm paying for. And then at that point, I'll decide if it's worth it, right? Sure, we're gonna fix your streets with this tax money. Good, you can have it. I want to see the streets fixed. That's a good reason to pay, right? If somebody's gonna fix your street, then that sounds good. I don't know about you, but the streets around me are always shit. Multiple
They're
rims.
still taking our money.
I've broken multiple rims on potholes. So I don't know who's fixing the streets, but they all look like crap. And every time they fix it, it's a temporary fix. It's not a permanent fix. The snow comes, it breaks it open again. Next year, that pothole is there again. Right? Nobody's thinking it. You know what they do? They do it intentionally so that they can keep having an excuse to send 10 workers out to fix a pothole. When in reality, only one of them is fixing a pothole. The other ones are eating sandwiches.
It's a racket.
It is. It's a racket to take your money. Everything's a racket to take your money. We need to protect you. I never asked for your goddamn protection. That's why we have weapons. I'll protect myself. Thank you. Right?
We have taxation without representation. Is what we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't like to use the actual terms. I'm from Brooklyn. I don't really care. You come and take my money for whatever reason, you're hurting my family. Right? And there was a yin yang effect back in the day where they were never allowed to overstep. A lot of you don't know this because you're not as old school as me. I'm an old man now. But back in the day, if any government agency, governor got out of line, there was a guy that knocked on his door, and made him understand that they can't do shit like that. Okay, if a police officer got out of line, old school Italian would come by with a gun and say, listen, you can't hurt people like that. You can't do that. That's what they would have done. Right? That's why there was that big thing about, oh, mafia is bad, the Italians are bad, and they discriminate, right? They made everybody think that the mafia was an evil entity, right? Because of a couple of bad people. Every community has a couple of bad people. Every family has those bad apples. You can't do anything about that. When 90% of the organization took care of people, took care of their families, gave to charity the most, right? That are begging now. No, is government giving anything to charities? keep begging, right? But back in the day, that didn't happen because we all knew to give money to the church. We all knew to give. At the end of the day, my father would take all the bread from his bakery and he would go bring it to the church so that people could eat. He said, "Why waste it? Why waste it? Let's bring it to people that want it." And he would give it all away for free. I was amazed.
Now they throw it away, and who cares if people are starving? It's thrown in the trash.
I would even argue that you would poison them with the kind of food.
And make rules and policies. Yeah, and they make a policy that if you do not throw it away and you do give it to somebody that could benefit from it, you get in trouble. That's wrong, man.
That's right. Okay, so we need to stop serializing our items. Right? It's the same thing. Back in the day, we used to be able to change the MAC addresses on our modems. Who made it? There was a modem. I think there's some modems today that you can still change the MAC address on, and that's a great feature for a router if you have one in your house. Because you can always change it, just in case that you're being surveilled. You can always change it, and if you don't know what MAC address to put, you can go to coffer.com and make your modem look like a coffee pot. Right? So if they look into it, they go, "Oh, it's just a smart washing machine." They wouldn't know what the fuck it is, and that's a good thing to do. You need to do that. You can also do that on your computer's MAC address, which comes from the NIC card, your network card, where you plug the internet in. That little card, that's what holds your MAC address. If you change that, it will have a different MAC. There's a lot of ways around these things, guys, and you need to start learning. Serial numbers and money, that's always been there. Back in the day, they didn't use it. Now they do. So it's how they know who's taking cash and who's giving cash. Right? So everything's monitored. How are you going to protect yourself in the coming days? Are you going to continue to buy things that are serialized? That's why we have open source. I believe that a time will come where a lot of people with the skills will come up and start selling their own units. And that's why we don't have a Linux phone yet, right? Because if they were to make a phone that can carry Linux, you see a lot of third parties out there just selling Linux phones because it's so easy to use. It will be so much easier to create apps for. Instead of going by Apple's requirements for their code, right? Whichever one that is, and then you got Google that they have their own requirements for their applications, React or whatever, I forgot it starts with an S for the Apple. See, you don't have to deal with that anymore. You can make it on Linux however you like. People can use their own skills, whatever coding that they know how to do, C++, whatever they know how to do, they can make it work on Linux on that phone. That's why you don't see Linux phones right now, and they're extremely popular. If somebody were to come out with a cheap Linux phone, they would make a lot of money right now. But I'm pretty sure that that's not going to happen because they want to trace and track every phone that's out there. Even your de-Googled phone has a MAC address, for those that don't know. Right? So you guys know I used to work for a company. They have two ISPs, so I know a lot about this. So there's gateways out there that also have their own proprietary MAC addresses. The leash is the ISP. It uses the information to provision your service. They can literally turn your internet on and off with the click of a button because they have your modem unique ID. It's locked into their system. If you bought your own modem, you'd still have to call them to have them register that MAC address in their system. You see, so you can't even do that. You can, but you have to tell them, about your new modem. Unfortunately, things are not going in the same. I think once you guys wake up to what's happening to everything you own, and you know what, even if you do wake up, you probably still go with the flow, go along to get along type of people. You won't act until you get hurt. I believe people sometimes need to get hurt to realize the severity of what's happening. And until that happens, you're not going to wake up completely. You might think you know what you're talking about. You might think you know what's happening, but until it actually happens to you, you don't do anything about it. So try being more proactive and don't let it happen to you. Don't let your house get robbed, and then buy a security system. And keep in mind, the security system that you own and is local to you. You set it up on your own local computer. Don't be using Ring doorbell. That as well is accessed by, all kinds of agencies that can look into your Ring doorbell camera whenever they want. Whenever they want. You get it? Go look it up. Ring doorbell. Cooperation with police. Go ahead, go look it up. Only idiots buy Ring doorbells.
Yes, I read yesterday that they have AI connected to the Ring doorbells, and they're using facial recognition software and storing every bit of the data, Captain. Anybody who walks anywhere near one of those doorbells gets tagged.
Yeah, even the garbage trucks around here. They got scanners that scan the plates as it's driving by. The garbage truck, guys. You would never think the garbage truck is your enemy. Isn't that funny? It's all over the place. It's never ending. And at some point, it's going to be a harsh reality to wake up to. You're making it harsher the more you don't wake up. The sooner you wake up, the better this is going to be. You need to start saying no to things that take your privacy away from you, that put you on a leash. Say no to the video games that are only online. Right? Say, I want a cartridge. I want to be able to play this game offline. If you can't play the game offline, they own you. They're monitoring you. They're taking those statistics, they're selling it, and they're making money off your ass. Are you getting any of it? No, the prices always go up. The games are going to be more expensive next year. Nothing's getting cheaper. They make more money, nothing's getting cheaper. Your internet service always going up. Are you kidding me? Over here in New York, it's like $300 fucking a month, bro. It's more. It's ridiculous. This is way too much money to pay for simple communications. Way too much. And people need to wake up. Now we have a plan. We can totally obliterate these ISPs. Obliterate them if we were all to work together. Right? But we all have to work together. And that's what they don't want us to do, Stay 6 feet apart. Wear a mask. Have nothing to do with a fucking vaccine. They don't want us talking to each other. Wear a mask. Stay away from people. Stay in your homes. Don't come out. Don't talk to each other. And if you do it online so we can monitor everything you're saying. You guys see what's happening here? Kids are not allowed in the park after 9 o'clock. I used to go to the park just to bang chicks. Like, where these kids going these days? And then they complain about we don't have enough children for the future. Yeah, well, you stop them from procreating. You stop accidents from happening. Oh boy, you can only laugh at it. Dude, that's what's happening. And you can't stop people from living their lives, and that's what they're doing. Now you're holding people on leashes. And once the dog realizes what you're doing to him, it will bite back. Depending on the dog you have, they're in for a real wake-up call. Because at some point, we can own it all. They don't need to offer it to us. We can do it all ourselves. What's the solution to the internet? Reticulum, that's right. Reticulum, everybody still laughs. No, don't laugh. It is a protocol stack. It could be the internet if you want it to be. It might be slow at the moment, but it gets the job done, and it is a pure mess. It works like ham radio. Now, those old school ham radio people understand why they use ham radio. Same reason, they don't want to be tracked and traced.
Secure.
I remember learning Morse code when I was a kid in my ham radio class. Do kids these days even have a ham radio class in school? Probably not. They don't even learn Morse code, nothing. I learned calligraphy. In elementary school, they were teaching me calligraphy. I don't see anything like that these days. Nothing that makes people think. Gives them some type of intelligence. So that's my thoughts for today, guys. For the crypto conspiracy, everybody's free to talk and tell me what you think of what I said. Do you agree? Do you disagree? How do we stop the tyranny from happening?
Very carefully.
Are you okay with it? Are you guys okay with everything you have being serialized? Do you like being protected by strangers you don't know?
Hate it. And I can clearly see it, and I hate it. And we're not ever going to be able to change it or reverse it unless we all work together. We have to say enough is enough. And I agree with you. I think bad things need to happen to people before they change, Captain. And that's sad.
I didn't change till something bad happened to me, bro. DJ Monk, what's up?
I didn't want to say it. Me too.
I think DJ Monk wanted to say something.
Yeah, it's so nice, fine, when other people protect me. I have to do nothing. That's so, I like it comfortable.
It's like hugging a teddy bear at most.
That was ironic. Yeah, but people are like this. They are really comfortable, that they want to have people protect them. They have to think about nothing. I agree with all the things.
I blame it on testosterone. Men these days are missing testosterone. Every man is deficient in this one thing that we were not deficient in long ago. And I think we've lost our balls. We all act like women.
Fluoride. Stop to use toothpaste with fluoride.
Right.
And maybe the one or the other should eat some meat.
Some L-carnitine, that's right. So if you're a man out there, I would urge you, and this is not something that most doctors would tell you, but go get your testosterone levels tested. Right? Mine was extremely low. You gotta get that tested, guys. If you want to stay a man, you're gonna start turning into a female, even though you still look like a man. You gotta think like them.
They call being a man and being an alpha toxic. They've been hammering that into us men for the past 10, 15 years now. They're saying that we're toxic, and that's gonna bite them back in the ass, man. It really is, because the world needs men just like we need women. We need alpha just like we need beta. It's a symbiotic relationship, and it's out of whack.
Hey, I was always told that the woman is to support their man, right? I was brought up like that. It's in the goddamn religion. I gave you a piece of my rib. Right? I want my rib back.
Just like they say men and boys, they play in the dirt, It's because we came from the dirt. Women don't play in the dirt because they didn't come from the dirt. They came from the rib of man. So
Never heard this explanation.
Yeah, but don't let them take your masculinity, guys. Do not let them take your masculinity. Go do some push-ups.
You know what?
Work out.
You know what? A lot of women say they're important because they make babies. But the fact is that men make babies. Women just incubate them. Remember that. Men are the most important thing in the world. Actually, as far as I'm concerned, God made my orgasm important for a reason. Only my orgasm makes babies. Yours don't. I bet you never thought of that one.
That's right, Captain. That's right.
So
don't let them steal your masculinity, guys.
And so as men, you guys need to say this is mine. Children had it right. When you try to take a toy away from a kid, what does he say? It's mine. This is my toy, right? This is mine. How dare you? And he throws a tantrum. Yeah. And we lost that. That's something important. That's an important thing. Somewhere along the way, somebody convinced us to say, we need to share it. Nah, I'm not sharing shit. This is mine. This modem is mine. This laundry machine is mine. This car is mine. This engine is mine. I worked my ass off for it. It's not yours. Stop putting serial numbers on it. It's mine. This gun is mine. right? But until you start understanding that you're being cooked, you're not going to think this way. You're going to say, oh, yeah, it's okay. You can have my serial numbers. You can have the privilege of taking my stuff whenever you want. Because that's what you're doing. You're making everything seizable. You're going to seize it.
All just to not make any waves. All just to get along. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it might be both. You know, I don't want to do that. I don't want to stand up for this because I don't want to make any waves. You know, I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to do this. I don't want that. You know.
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't even use social media. They're scared that their human resources department will find it. Right? That's how scared you are. You know the problem is happening. You know it. Why are you still using Facebook? Why are you still using these platforms?
That's what cowards.
Because it's popular? Because you want to go with the flow? You need to rethink everything you're doing. There is I think Cordell just mentioned that they made a Twitter alternative called Quitter. Don't be a quitter.
Quitter. Hey, Captain, you're deep. This is real deep, Captain. You're getting at the core of us.
There's alternatives to everything, but you gotta find it. You gotta search for it. And the biggest problem people have is they just don't got time to understand, to try to understand this stuff. They don't have time. They come home from a long day of work, and they drink a beer, right? They watch the game. That's it. That's their life. They don't got time. They've been slave laboring all day.
Just to survive. Nobody's getting ahead. Everybody's just surviving. Because the way that they take the taxes out of our checks is because they don't do it at a set rate. They give each of us an individually created tax program, and they take a certain amount out of everybody's check percentage, or however they do it. And it's wrong, man. And we take it, Captain. We take that shit like we're slaves. Weak, man.
Yep.
It's the same.
We gotta stop bending the
What do you do?
You gotta find your book. You gotta find your book.
Job, you know?
Marriage is also a bullshit thing.
90% of
A marriage license, guys. Keep in mind that a marriage license is the only one that doesn't expire for some fucking reason. But I mean, isn't that weird or what? Every license expires except this one. Why is that? Like, well, you need to prove yourself to me again. Every year, I'd like her to prove herself to me again, right? But marriage licenses, if you research, marriage licenses back in the day, they were created to track interracial marriages, and it worked so well that they said, let's do it to everybody. Don't you feel like an asshole?
Yes.
You don't need a marriage license to marry somebody. As long as it's in the eyes of God, it doesn't matter. You don't need some stranger giving you some paperwork, tricking you into thinking now you're official. You were official the moment you spoke to God. The moment you said, I'm going to take care of this woman for the rest of her life, and she's going to take care of me, right? And you make that deal in front of God. You don't have to tell anybody else about it. It's nobody's fucking business, right? But you're over there. I don't know if you got father issues or whatnot, but you don't need anybody's consent to do stuff like that. You don't need a piece of paper that says, oh, you're official. I was official before this piece of paper. How about I print? You know what? I'll make my own certificate. Anyway, you guys get it.
I heard somewhere in the fine print of those marriage licenses that you give authority over yourself and your family to the state.
Well, what you're really doing is you're introducing a third party into your marriage. It's no longer just you and your wife, now it's you, your wife, and this entity. Right? And guess what? When it comes time for them to take away your children, they're going to do it because you gave them full permission. Once you sign your marriage, that's what that marriage contract is about. It's to take away your children if they want to.
Exactly. That's exactly what I read.
Who's an idiot?
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I'm an idiot too, bro. I wish I knew these things a long time ago. But that's why I'm here telling you guys. Maybe there's some young fellas out there that haven't made that commitment yet. Yeah. And so there are priests out there that will marry you in the eyes of God. No government intervention. I remember talking to the priest about it because it was bothering me. I told the priest, I was like, listen, how about we do this without the paperwork? And he would not do it. And that tells me he's compromised, right? He's compromised. What do they got over you, Mr. Priest? Are they gonna make you pay your taxes? What is it that they got over you that forces you to betray God? God don't want anybody talking for him. Pretty sure of it. I was made in his reflection, so I'm pretty sure of it. You should all consider all of yourselves gods, because we were made in his reflection. And whatever God you may believe in, that's fine, because God is a God. And my God is water. I believe water is him. He speaks to us through the water. I take a shower every day, not to get clean, but to talk to my God. And he will talk back to him if you truly talk to the water, tell him how much you love the water. Water's been around since before everything. It was here during creation. It's probably what created us. It all started with water. Water's a living thing. It's alive. Go research it. It reacts to people differently. It creates different structures of crystals, the different people it touches. It knows your intentions. If you scream angrily at water, it will react. If you say you love water, it will react as well. Right? Dr. Masaru Emoto, I think his name is. Go look at his work. He's the only guy that figured that out. You gotta research water. Water is God. Right? But that's my religion. I believe that water is my God.
Hey, Captain, if you take a drop of water and you say I love you, you're so beautiful, and all that stuff right there, and you look at it under a microscope, check it out. This is for real science. If you do that and look at it underneath a scope, you'll see a beautiful structure like a snowflake. How beautiful the snowflakes are. But if you cuss out and talk down and talk real bad to a drop of water and look at it underneath the microscope, it makes a completely different structure. Now that's fact. That's science. That's science.
Yeah, it looks sad. It looks like a splattered. It just looks like splattered duty. But when you say you love it, it turns into a beautiful 3D.
Check it out. You and I. Yeah, that's right. And me and you, we're around 80% water. So if I tell you you're beautiful, you're smart, I appreciate you, and I love you, and all that stuff, every water molecule in your body is going to be transformed into a beautiful shape. But if I cuss you out and call you all kinds of names and stuff, what does that do? What you're saying has very, very heavy and deep intentions, Captain.
Yeah, it'll depress you, right? So in the water inside of you will get depressed as well.
Exactly.
There's a riddle. When I grew up Catholic, there's a riddle that I've heard my whole life. He is in you and all around you. It's water. The answer to that riddle is water. Water is in you, it's in the air, it's in wood, it's in everything, right? It's all around you. If he is in you and all around you, it's water. Anyway, I'm not going to convince people to join my religion, but these are my thoughts. And that's why I don't follow those stupid books, with those stupid stories where they try to convince you act certain ways. You know, even if some of those ways are nice. I don't trust anything. Not even the Bible. If you look at the Old Testament and the New Testament. Actually, AI can do it for you. Go ask AI how many times the word water is in the Old Testament compared to the New Testament. If I remember right, Old Testament has water mentioned over 600 times. In the New Testament, it's less than 200. Okay, so there was censorship even back then. Right? They were trying to censor water. On top of the fact that they got you pooping and peeing on water every day. Disrespectful. A little disrespectful there, right, to our God. They're poisoning our water that comes into the house, right? So you can never talk to God. Like that, the chlorine, the fluoride that they put in your water, it's so that you can't talk to God. You need to have...
Water is mentioned over 700 times in the Bible. OT and New T. That's insane, Captain. I didn't know that.
A lot of people don't, because I've done in-depth research on water. So water is the only liquid that, when you freeze it, it expands. Right? There's a lot to it.
Jesus' first miracle was turning water into wine.
There you go.
What? That's exactly right, Doc. It was. Hey, Captain, you might be onto something with this water situation.
Right, when Moses
I'll look into it deeper.
When Moses parted the Red Sea, you know, not the Red Sea, he parted water. He told the water what to do, and it did it.
Noah's Ark?
Yep. Yep.
Keep studying, guys. Keep studying, and you'll be at my level. I don't believe any of that religious stuff anymore that they've told me all grown up. I don't believe any of it. I believe what I can feel and I can touch, and what I can see with my eyes. So this is coming to an end, guys. And if you got any more questions, we got 3 minutes because the town vault and Komodo is going to start soon. We got Pirate Chain coming in, and he's probably going to come in about 20 minutes in, I think he said. So
How about that Ken Ham dude in Tennessee? Built a replica of Noah's Ark, and he got water damaged, and he made an insurance claim for water damage on his replica of the Ark.
maybe God told him he didn't build it properly. He needs to rebuild it again. All right, guys, so thanks for showing up today. Small turnout, I didn't really promote it too much. But thanks for listening to my crazy, if you want to call it that. I think you're all crazy for doing the things that you do. But maybe we could find some type of line of communication where you can understand me and I can understand you, and we can grow together.
Yeah.
All right, guys, this is Lutz. I love you all. Canada the Great. Any last words?
Yes. Yeah, we need to think about what Captain said today. It's a big. I know it's real big and it's real deep, but we really have a problem, guys. We really do, and we need to get serious and at least start looking at it. So we love you and appreciate you.
This is Lutz and Canada the Great signing out.
Yeah. Check the mic, 1, 2, it's the truth I'm speaking. While the whole world's sleeping, they're creeping, they're seeking a different kind of power, controlling your mind, putting fiction on the screen, leaving facts behind. First it was a flick, a blockbuster hit. Now the same damn plots on your news feel legit. They normalize the terror, make the evil seem bland, so you don't even notice when they're clenching their hand on your rights, on your life, on the air you breathe. Got you pacified with tricks up their sleeve. They selling you a nightmare, call it entertainment, while the foundation of your freedom is getting replacement. It's predictive programming. The script is already written to sensitize the masses, get them all smitten with a lie that feels so familiar, so cinematic. When the real thing goes down, you won't even panic. Just another Tuesday, another scene in the show. They already told you how it's gonna go. From the silver screen to the world that you live in, they're making you numb to the truth that they give it. See the drones in the sky in the movie you saw. Now they're watching your block, breaking every law. See the plague in the film, the quarantine zone. Now you're locked in your house and you're all alone. But it feels like you've seen it, you know all the cues. The hero, the villain, the win and the lose. So you play out your part, you don't question the scene, just accepting the madness, keeping your mind clean of the critical thought, of the what if and why. Just a passive consumer, watching the world die in high definition, surround sound and all, waiting for a hero who's not gonna come at your call. Yeah, it's predictive programming. The script is already written to sensitize the masses, get them all smitten with a lie that feels so familiar, so cinematic. When the real thing goes down, you won't even panic. Just another Tuesday, another scene in the show. They already told you how it's gonna go. From the silver screen to the world that you live in, they're making you numb to the truth that they're giving. They call it art, imitating life, a clever disguise, but it's life imitating art right before your eyes. The Pentagons in the credits, the cash is all green, funding the very narratives that keep you keen on the fake opposition, the left and the right, while the real puppet master stays hidden from sight. They're building the future inside of your head, so when it arrives, you'll already be dead. To the struggle, to the fight, to the reality, just a character in their grand tragedy. So turn off the TV, break the screen in your mind, read the signs that are real, the ones you can find. The script ain't the gospel, the director's a liar. This ain't a damn movie, get set on fire. Wake up, wake up, wake up. The show's almost over. Yeah.